Hey, what's up? My name's Eagle Falcon. What you're about to see is the actual video recording of one of my morning podcasts, the Early Bird Briefing. This one I went really long. Normally the podcast is only like 5-10 minutes. This one went 40. But the subject matter is incredibly important, and that has to do with the letter from Twitch president Dan Clancy, in which they announced the end of 70-30 splits after a certain threshold. And while the announcement itself isn't actually that bad, the tone of the letter says a lot, and I do mean a lot, about Twitch. So sit back and enjoy my very professional anger. A fresh dose of tech news and insight. This is the Early Burb Briefing. The state of Twitch is rotten. It is Thursday, September 22nd, 2022. This is the Early Bird Briefing. I'm Eagle Falcon. Bitcoin is down 2.65%, bringing it down 1.94% so far this week. And Ethereum has taken a massive hit, down 6.61%, being down 9.51% this week. Ethereum is not taking the Nvidia news good at all. So early this morning, Twitch has decided to completely distract us from the gambling controversy by the Twitch president giving us a letter on the blog, which, by the way, if you have ever had to try to navigate the Twitch blog, I am terribly sorry for you, and I hope you have kept some form of your sanity. This website is awful to navigate. But I want to give you the context of this, all right? So yesterday, if you somehow missed it, some controversy came out regarding a Twitch streamer that was exploiting viewers and other streamers, scamming them out of near $300,000 to feed a gambling addiction. This began to cause chatter among the Twitch community about why is gambling allowed on Twitch. To which then clips started surfacing of Twitch staff potentially accepting cryptocurrency bribes from gambling streamers, which brings up a whole lot of legal questions, but I'll leave that to actual legal experts, because I'm pretty certain that if such things are in fact going on and that wasn't just some sort of weird out of context thing going on there, various investigatory branches are going to want to get involved in that. To which then Twitch wanted to go ahead and bury that altogether by announcing that some gambling, and I want to stress that for a minute, because everyone's still popping and chugging champagne over the victory of gambling being banned on Twitch. Gambling is not banned on Twitch. Some forms of unregulated illegal gambling is banned on Twitch, and only some of said illegal unregulated gambling. Let that sink in for a second. To which then everyone is celebrating. A couple of us are going, hey, wait a minute. Why are you waiting this long? Because it's not going into effect until October. And what about the rest of gambling? To which then Twitch president Dan Clancy has posted in the early morning of Wednesday, literally 2 hours after yesterday's Early Bird Briefing went up. I mean, look, Dan, could you have just dropped this like 3 hours earlier when I was like recording it? No? Okay. Trying to talk about revenue subscription revenue shares. The TLDR of this is in fact that normally for almost everyone on Twitch, the split for subs is 50% of the revenue goes to Twitch and 50% of the revenue goes to the streamer. That is how Twitch affiliates get it, and that is how some of the smaller partners get it. But if you're big enough, you get to see a 70-30 split. 70 to you, 30% to Twitch. Well, this is going to be going away. For Twitch partners that are in the tier to get that 70-30 split, they will only get the 70-30 split for the first $100,000 earned for the year. And then after that, it goes to a 50-50 split. Now, realistically, this is a understandable compromise, but no one is going to take the news that, oh, hey, by the way, you know how you've been working for Twitch for a long, long time and you've pretty much got nothing but a kick in the shin anytime you're looking for any kind of growth potential or any kind of feature set out of Twitch for the last couple of years? Yeah, we'll enjoy a revenue cut too. So, I mean, that's already not good. But there's a reason why I gave you the TLDR now. Because the real juicy bits is in how this is given. How this news is delivered to us. I am going to read the entire blog post and attempt to not interrupt myself too much, but I'm going to tell you right now, it is going to be incredibly difficult. Before we continue, I just want to say that first off, you've noticed by now, no, there is not going to be a pre-roll ad on this episode of the Early Bird Briefing. Instead, today, the sponsor is going to be from all of my subscribers over at twitch.tv/EagleFalcon. I thank you all very, very much. The main reason I'm going to be doing it this way is because I want this rant to be shared. Because I got some choice words. So let's begin. The blog post begins as follows. Hello, Twitch community. I'm Dan Clancy, president of Twitch and responsible for the day-to-day operations of the service. FYI, this blog is targeted to streamers, but everyone, of course, is welcome to read along with us. Let me interject. The only people who can find this blog post, by the way, is going to be either streamers or media. There is no way any average person is ever going to find this thing because the actual Twitch blog has been written by lizard people. I just want to say that I cannot stress enough how unnavigable the Twitch blog is. It is atrocious. Please, Twitch, just go back to using Blogspot or something. We were actually on our community ranting about one logistics company that used a terrible canned calendar for scheduling appointments. Twitch, you need a canned solution because what you're using right now is terrible. Anyway, I digress. The article continues. This morning, we reached out to a subset of streamers about some upcoming changes to their agreement terms. This blog gives us an opportunity to be clear with all streamers on Twitch about those changes and talk more broadly about our strategy to help streamers make more money on our service. Let me interject. So the way we're going to go ahead and begin this bad news about how there is a revenue cut coming is to talk about how you, the streamer, can make more money on their platform. They're going to call it a service. I'm going to call it what it is. It is a platform. I want you to keep that in mind. How can streamers make more money on our platform? The blog continues. Streamers are and always will be the foundation of our global community. It is your passion, hard work, and creativity that make Twitch the one-of-a-kind place it is. Let me interject. Yeah, it was a one-of-a-kind place, and then you started taking away some of the features that made it one-of-a-kind. I'm sorry, I'm not going to let this go. The fact that they're going ahead and taking away some of the key features, such as the host mode, such as premieres, such as reruns, strictly because they want to go ahead and, I don't know, become more like YouTube? But then to try and say, oh, we want to be a one-of-a-kind place. No, you don't. You want to be a clone of the bad YouTube streaming platform that they have. You're sending mixed messages as it is, and it's driving people insane. The blog continues. To bring it back around more directly to this blog's topic, we can't run this service unless you make money. That's not a drawback, it's by design. This innate partnership is why we support all streamers' career and ambitions like they're our own. Let me interject. You see how they just come out and just blatantly say that? You know, it's all about, you know, we can't make money. How long has Twitch been around? I know it can't be operating at a loss that entire time. If it was operating at a loss that entire time, then it'd be collapsed, to be gone by now. Its debts would have caught up to it by now. It had to have been profitable at one time, but you continue to make these very strange changes to the whole thing and continue to work around and dance around all these controversies very, very poorly, like you're some sort of 2-bit politician. But no, please tell us why all of a sudden now, of all the times, now we need to make sure that, quote, you make money. The blog continues. Before we talk about what's Before we talk about what's happening next, we need to share some information for context. For subscriptions, we use a baseline revenue share of 50-50 on the net revenue from those earnings. The vast majority of Twitch streamers have these terms in their agreement. However, for some time, we did offer a standard agreement with premium subscription terms to select streamers as they grew larger. This isn't something we've talked about publicly, but such deals are common knowledge within the streamer community. Historically, we didn't have a consistent framework to determine who would receive these deals and when. Over a year ago, we made the decision to begin to stop offering these premium agreements to new streamers not already on these terms. Let me interject. Cool, thanks. That's great. How great of you to not have a plan. That has me have great faith in this great Twitch community when its people at the helm have admitted that they haven't had a plan for a large chunk of their lifespan. It's great. It's great. The blog continues. As we reflected on how we handled these premium deals, we realized a few problems. First, we had not been transparent about the existence of such deals. Second, we were not consistent in qualification criteria, and they generally went to larger streamers. Finally, we don't believe it's right for those on standard contracts to have varied revenue shares based on the size of the streamer. Now, I'll interject for a minute. Why? Twitch streamers on paper are subcontractors. In the world of subcontracting, the streamer and the person, or the subcontractor and the person they are working for, negotiate a rate. This is common. You don't believe it's right? Well, you want to go ahead and go on that sort of, oh, well, we don't think it's right to go ahead and talk and base these sort of revenue splits based on this person or that person based on how well they do. Well, you did, and it's not exactly fair to those that you have to just suddenly cut them off. But we'll keep going. The blog continues. In an ideal world, all streamers would be on the same set of terms regardless of size. Let me interject, like on YouTube. Just saying. YouTube does a 70-30 split. As long as you reach the bare minimum criteria to be a, quote, YouTube ad partner. And there's various hidden tiers in that and all sorts of other jargon and whatnot. But as long as you reach that base tier, 70-30. We'll continue. In an ideal world, all streamers would be on the same set of terms regardless of size. However, instituting that policy would have a negative impact on the streamers currently on these terms, many of whom were instrumental in helping us build the Twitch we know today. These streamers have come to depend on the additional revenue split to maintain their standard of living. Let me interject. This is such bad logic for Twitch, it's not even funny. Oh, but it's not fair to those bigger streamers who already had this set. Well, I mean, your competition already does it. You can use that as your reason for setting it that way. Don't give us this kind of BS, because that's what this is. 100% BS. It's not fair to the bigger streamer. Give me a break. The blog continues. For these streamers still on these premium deals, we're adjusting the deal so they retain their 70-30 revenue share split for the first 100K earned through subscription revenue. The revenue above 100K will be split at the standard 50-50 share split. We're announcing this change now, but it won't go into effect until after June 1st, 2023. That's kind of a very weird spot, I might add, for June 1st. Why not July 1st? The start of Q3. Like, that would have made more sense. But I digress. After that point, streamers will only be affected once their existing contract is up for renewal. All streamers with these terms have already received information and more via email, and we'll make sure to give them exact updates and timelines as we get closer to June 1st, 2023. For approximately 90% of streamers on the standard agreement with premium subscription terms, this change will not affect them at their current revenue. For those who are affected, we want to make sure the impact was minimal. Now, hold on here for a minute. I want to go back here and check this, because one thing that's kind of weird is that, oh, hey, you're going to get your 70-30 revenue split for the first 100K earned. When? For the year? But then it's going to go up for when their contract is up for renewal. So for that year, they're going to go ahead and keep their better split for the first 100K. And then after that, what? It's just going to be the straight 50-50? Like, they're being very vague about this, but at the same time, I guarantee you, one of these streamers is going to squeal about this if Twitch tries to put in any kind of BS in it. I know a few partners. I'm willing to bet not many of them are willing to go ahead and share information. If I come up with anything, I'll let you know. Of course, all sources will be kept anonymous as always for those kind of things. But realistically, I'll just say that. I'll just say it out loud because I'm willing to bet that it's going to be the case. If there's going to be any streamer that's going to go ahead and just squeal if Twitch tries to pull off BS like this, I'll just say it right now. It's going to be Asmongold. Anyone who knows the style of that guy, I could absolutely see him once he sees some nonsense like that being put in. Just not give a care, blab, flip Twitch off, and then leave for YouTube. And then pay whatever fine Twitch tries to sue him with. Because he just won't care. I guarantee it. I suspect that would happen far before I could get a hold of any anonymous sources. But back to the blog. For those who are affected, we want to make sure the impact was minimal, not just by giving them ample time before the deal goes into effect, but also by offering an alternative way to earn revenue. Our recent bump of ad revenue share to 55% as part of the ads incentive program is a great way for these larger streamers to make up most, if not all, of that revenue. Let me interject. You were Did you listen to yourself for a moment here? All right, look, we have this program in place right now. Anyone with a functional brain hates this program for a multitude of reasons. But many partners are currently just begrudgingly doing the thing they dislike because they have bills to pay and they have mouths to feed. And there ain't nothing in this world for free. And there ain't no rest for the wicked, etc., etc., etc. But the thing is that they're currently getting the 70-30 now, and you're bumping ad revenue. Except the algorithm that determines how much you make of this appears to be one giant steaming pile of messed up. The partners that have shared their deals for running this atrocious program from month to month have seen wild swings. Like 1 month they'll see several hundred for running the program for pretty much the whole month. Next month they'll see 80. Next month they'll see 700 again. Next month they'll see 120. There's a couple of people trying to run math to try and get to the bottom of what this automated algorithm coded by I assume a plushie of a code monkey, but we're not sure. But it appears to just use notches of every 100. And if you're at like 198 versus 201, it swings wildly because of that. And that's just bad coding. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. It's terrible. There's not just that, but the ad program itself requires you to use the internal tool for Twitch that runs the ads automatically. That means that automatically, while you're going ahead and making your content, as you're going and being entertaining, as you're playing whatever, as you're ranting about whatever, as you're doing X, Y, and Z, randomly, well, at least what feels randomly, it's actually at a set interval, you will be interrupted by usually about 3 minutes, because that's about how much they want you to run every 30 minutes of ads. That's 3 minutes of content the viewers aren't getting. Hey, by the way, as a viewer, if you saw that a streamer was streaming and in the middle of a big boss fight and all of a sudden it went to 3 minutes of ads, what are you going to do? Are you going to A, sit there and grumble at the screen as you look at a thumbnail? Well, not really a thumbnail, but, you know, a postage stamp size version of the stream so you can see more of the action? Or are you going to change the channel to someone else? Odds are you're going to do the latter. And if you don't have anyone else, you're probably just going to go over to YouTube and bring up some videos that have been sitting in your feed for a while that look kind of interesting. Or Netflix or Hulu or whatever. And then you realize you're a cheapskate and had the ad version of Hulu, then go back to Netflix. But I digress. The ad incentive program is flawed on this alone. So to go ahead and say like, oh, hey, don't worry, you can get a 55% of the ad revenue as long as you go ahead and meet the incentives on that, but only if you go ahead and use this flawed tool that's atrocious. Screw you, Twitch. But here's the best part. The blog's not over. Oh, no. It still goes on. Our recent bump in ad revenue share to 55% as part of the ad incentive program is a great way for these larger streamers to make up most, if not all, of that revenue. For those interested in additional detail, we have provided a copy of the email that we sent to some of these streamers explaining the change and how it affects them below. Of course, we will get to that in a minute, and this is going to be a record long early bird briefing, but guess what? We are still going to push through it because I am not done with this punch in the face that is a blog post. The blog continues. It's a reality of our business that we will, in rare cases, continue to negotiate custom agreements on a case-by-case basis. However, we have been reducing how often we offer these deals and the total value of these deals. Now, let's get to the big question, or as I'd like to call it, the real question. Why not a 70-30 split? When we first established the 50-50 revenue share split, it was to signal that we were in this together. You all do the amazing work you do to create great content, engage the audience, and grow communities. On our side of the partnership, it is our responsibility to make continuous investments in the products and people that make your growth possible. Let me interject. All right, cool. Where's those investments? Seriously, where is the fruit of these investments? Oh, is it about the great discoverability that Twitch has? Oh, wait, no. The discoverability on Twitch is actually such hot garbage. You are offering freaking seminars on how to make content on YouTube to bring more people to Twitch. Even you admit you have failed in the realm of discoverability to help grow our communities. You admit you contribute nothing to it. But please, where's more of these investments? Where's more of the innovation? Oh, cool. The host mode is gone. Wow, what a great innovation. Now your product is worse. Oh, cool. The rerun function is gone. Wow, what a great investment. Oh, cool. The Premiere system is gone. What a great investment. Oh, look, Clips is still a hodgepodge that barely function. There's no way to go ahead and gain discoverability from that, even though it'd be the biggest no-brainer move on the planet to go ahead and create a system much like TikTok that would go ahead and give a constant feed of interesting stuff from Twitch. And as a side note, would help with that whole grow communities thing that you just tried to claim you do. So please, Twitch, tell me, what have you done? Because so far, all I have seen is you clowns sitting on your butt for over a year, doing nothing other than make us think the platform is sinking. How dare you? How dare you, Twitch, try to say that we're in this together? You have left us out stranded. And that by far is the most offensive thing about this blog post. And you know what? Nothing that you've changed in here affects me at all. I could care less about your ads program. I run ads the way I want to, and I make my cool $1 a month from it because that's all I'm worth to you. I am going to continue getting my 50-50 split because that's all I'm worth to you. You already admitted you're not going to change any of this, but this blog post is one giant middle finger to everything I have worked on this platform. And I'm nothing on this entire platform. I'm nothing. I average 12 viewers. That's it. When it comes to content creators, when it comes to streaming, I know where I sit on the totem pole, and it's near the bloody bottom. But the fact that you have the cojones, the balls, to try and say that you contribute to my stream, my community, is an insult. Ooh. And you know what's worse? The blog post continues. At the time of this posting, more than 22,000 of you have weighed in on user voice, asking us to move all streamers to 70/30 and pay streamers faster. Let's talk about the latter part first. You know, the thing we actually decided to actually do. You probably heard by now, we're in the middle of rolling out the largest change to payouts in years by cutting the payout threshold in half to $50. This is an important middle step that will help streamers put money in their pockets now while getting us closer to our goal of same-day payouts and lower thresholds. Investment like these are paying off for streamers. Products like Prime subs, community gifting, hype trains, and the ads incentive program, to name a few, have driven an increase of 27% more streamer revenue per viewer hour every year over the last years. This means the same viewer hour now earns you 3 times more money than it did 5 years ago on average. You want to know why they had to go ahead and say more than it did 5 years ago? Because they literally haven't done anything in the past couple of years. You notice that, right? But of course, they want to try and pad this with all the good things that have happened, you know, years ago, back when the future of Twitch actually looked bright. Not now, when it looks like the entire platform is sinking. But let's continue. Our investments into your monetization options have already and continue to put more money into streamers' pockets than 20% more subs revenue share would have. That sentence is just another batch of, are you kidding me? Oh, look at the ads incentive program. You know, the thing that is actually killing the platform. Oh, look at the hype train. The thing that is urging people to go ahead and contribute more during incredible moments, which, by the way, plenty of streamers have been having a system like the hype train before the hype train came around, so you know. you go ahead and think that. Community gifting, I'll admit that actually has done a lot. But then the Prime subs, if you notice that fewer and fewer people seem to be using Prime subs because they keep hiding it. Before it used to be like a big old button. Now it's like a small little checkbox. But in any case, we keep doing all these things. So you don't need to have 20% more and have the exact same split cut as our next biggest competitor. You don't need that. All right, Mr. President. I want you to sit in on an HR meeting with some of your employees. And when they try asking for a raise, have your HR use this exact same defense and see how it goes. It'll be fun and exciting and definitely won't make you look like some kind of greedy jag like you currently look like. But let's continue. Prime subs often get lost in the conversation when it comes to revenue share. For Prime subs, we pay streamers the same amount they'd receive for a regular subscription, even though it's included as an added benefit of their Prime subscription. Combined with other monetization products, let me interject, like what? Product post continues. Prime subs increases your effective revenue share by approximately 15% to about 65% total. This number varies by streamer size and location, but subscription revenue share is not the full picture on revenue share for streamers. Let me interject. Yeah, you don't need that extra 20%. You don't need it. You don't need that raise. You don't need to be brought to the exact same split as our next biggest competitor. You don't need it because we have all these other gimmicks. Look at all these gimmicks. Look at the shiny keys. Oh, look. I have a purple pen. Look, it goes click when I do this. Oh, look how cool this. You don't need a raise. That's crazy. That's crazy. The blog still continues somehow. Lastly, we have to talk about the cost of our service. Delivering high definition, low latency, always available live video to nearly every corner of the world is expensive. Using the published rates from Amazon Web Services Interactive Video Services, which is essentially Twitch video, live service costs for a 100 CCU streamer who streams 200 hours a month costs more than $1,000 per month. We don't typically talk about this because, frankly, you shouldn't have to think about it. We'd rather you focus on doing what you do best. But anyway, we're going to dangle this number right in front of you and tell you not to worry about it. Just saying. But to fully answer the question of why not 70/30, ignoring the high cost delivering Twitch service would have meant giving you an incomplete answer. Let me interject. You've already given me an incomplete answer. You have given me dangling keys for 4 paragraphs and then tell us you don't need you don't need that 70/30 raise to put you in direct competition with your next competition. Also, you mentioned the going rate of Amazon Web of AWS's interactive video service. What? You couldn't give yourself a discount? I hate to break it to you, Twitch, but you're owned by Amazon. If you're paying yourself the going rate, you have an internal corporate problem, and that sounds like a you problem, quite frankly. So don't make your you problem a me problem, because if you make it a me problem, we're going to have a problem. In fact, we already have a problem. The fact that you have the balls to go ahead and try to dump this turd on my lap to say that you don't need 70-30, despite the fact that, you know, Google, your next biggest competitor, who has just as big and just as costly of a web interactive video service engine as you do, is able to do the exact same split, makes this whole thing reek. This entire blog post, which I'm not even done with yet, by the way, yeah, this thing still continues, is a massive middle finger to every single streamer, whether this results in revenue loss for you or not. And here's the best part. As I mentioned before, the revenue costs they're talking about here affect me exactly not at all. My split was 50-50. Guess what? It's still going to be 50-50. But the fact they want to go ahead and talk down to me like I'm some kind of moron is offensive. And I do actually know a few streamers that are just like, oh, don't worry, it basically affects no one. Oh, no. I know it affects almost no one. The message this sends says volumes about Twitch. It really, really does. But hey, let's just continue. What's next? When someone asks me why Twitch is the best place to make money as a streamer, let me interject. You sure as heck are doing a terrible job of telling us it is. I'm not even one sentence in to the next paragraph. And already you said something that's completely stupid. When someone asks me why is Twitch the best place to make money as a streamer, I don't know. You just spent 4 paragraphs telling me why we can't make more money as a streamer, which basically amounts to because you said so. You greedy jerk. The blog continues. When someone asks me why Twitch is the best place to make money as a streamer, my answer starts first and foremost with community. Community on Twitch is real and tangible. From chat memes to subscriber emotes to TwitchCon meetups and yes, to how streamers earn money. That's particularly because of our work to equip you with the right tools. Because it's primarily because streamers like you are putting yourselves out there, embracing what you're most passionate about, and building communities. Let me interject. What tools? Literally, what tools? Every single week you take another tool away. Oh, host is gone. Up, VODs are gone. Up, now this is gone. Up, premieres are gone. Up, reruns are gone. There's rumors that bits are about to go too. Oh yeah, about the whole thing about, oh, don't worry, we're going ahead and making sure that streamers get a whole lot of money. Yeah, where's my ads for bits? That was great, by the way. Why'd that go away? No, but please tell me more about the right tools you've given us without mentioning what any of those tools are. Because every time I turn around, more and more tools are vanishing from my dashboard. The blog continues. We believe we have the most compelling offering for streamers. and there's still more we can do. Let me interject. Yeah, you could give us the tools you got rid of. Remember those? The ones we the ones I just mentioned, the ones you keep thinking you gave us? The blog continues. The best Twitch is the one we build together, and your feedback helps us evolve in the right direction. As always, if you have any feedback, the best place to share is Twitch user voice. Thank you for your time, Dan Clancy. And then it goes on to say, to mention the email, which I'll be perfectly honest, pretty much just says exactly what we just talked about. I'm just quickly skimming it while I'm talking about it right now to see if there's any new thing here. It is pretty much as I suspected. The first 100K they have the 70-30 split is in fact over a 1 year period. So they are doing something very akin to like a tax bracket, oddly enough. All right. My final thoughts, even though I just interjected so many thoughts into this blog that it could be confused for a 24-layer wedding cake. I'll give Dan Clancy some credit. Dan Clancy, by far, would make an amazing politician. He's got all the hallmarks for a good politician. Going ahead and bringing out bad news to completely cover up some other bad news that is far more sketchy. To go ahead and take all of our attention, pretty much the entire controversy about potentially Twitch employees taking in gambling money bribes. Poof, gone. No one's talking about that anymore. Until I just did just now. Because now we're talking about how the revenue split's going down. By people who can't be bothered to read the blog. And on top of that, man, you wanted to go ahead and get that 70-30 split, which I want to remind you again is exactly what YouTube live streaming offers for all people who qualify for it. Granted, it's harder to get into the YouTube partnership program than it is to get into the Twitch affiliate program, but I digress. You want that extra 20%? Man, you don't need it because we have all these other gimmicky things. Look at all the gimmicky things. Look at the keys. Look at the keys. Ooh. I go and grab some keys, but they're on my pants and they're way over there. And I don't want to leave this microphone. You don't need that money. You got all these other things. The best thing that happened to Twitch, just straight up, was the fact that the guy in charge of YouTube gaming left for that nonsensical cryptocurrency venture. Because that guy was doing everything in his power to add enough features to YouTube live streaming so that it could very easily compete with Twitch. Now that he's gone, now that YouTube is far more focused on the encroaching titan that is TikTok, YouTube live streaming is just pretty much in a holding pattern. And all this is Twitch right here trying to guilt trip you very poorly, I might add. This is the worst guilt tripping I've ever seen. Which again is actually pretty on par for a politician. To try and go ahead and say that you're all fine, we're the best place to earn these things because you give you the right tools. We can't tell you what those tools are, but we give you the right tools. The only tools we mention are the gimmicky ones like the hype train, the leaderboard, and this, that, and the other thing to try and gamify charity from your viewers. But You know, let's not talk about any actual useful tools like, say, oh, I don't know, the ability for clips to be more browsable, to go ahead and create something very akin to TikTok just for your clips and have that be your engine for discoverability. You have our clips. You have the ability to make them searchable. Heck, you could even inject an ad every 10 clips. You can earn your ad revenue that way. And because it's not technically going to anyone, it can go 100% to you. That's what you like, right? Higher percentage for you? But no, we don't do that. Because at this point, it kind of just seems like only Dan Clancy is actually at anywhere in the entire frickin' helm of Twitch. No matter how you look at it, the state of Twitch right now is extremely poor. And personally, I'll say this much. I am glad that I long ago set up everything for my stream that if Twitch went down for a day, I could be back up and running on YouTube in a matter of minutes. It'd probably be closer to 30 minutes having to go ahead and switch over all the settings, but I could very easily do it. I can't say the same for probably 95% of all Twitch streamers out there. But man, I can already see it. There's already a lot of streamers talking vocally about contemplating switching to YouTube. Even if they're not being vocal about it, that is something that I am willing to bet is on the mind. They may not be willing to pull through with it, but it's on their mind right now of almost every single Twitch streamer that it's live right now on Twitch that knows this blog post exists. Because this isn't the blog post of someone this isn't the blog post from a president that's talking about how their company is strong, how everything is great. This is the worst executive speech I have ever seen. And in the end, all we can do is wait, see, and plan. I'm going to be very curious after post-processing how long this rant's going to be. This is probably going to be easily by far the longest early bird briefing ever. And if you were hoping for a short one to start your day with, I sincerely apologize. But this is more of a, I needed a rant. I needed to get this off my chest. And deep down inside, I know a lot of you wanted to hear my thoughts on this nonsense. That is going to do it for me. Stay safe and stay healthy.